జాయిన్ చెప్పాలా?
Yeah. Sorry, just give us 2-3 minutes. We were having a meeting actually. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now.
Okay.
Sure, we'll
Let
wait.
us see. I'll just wait for it. We were having some meeting, so we're just out of it. Just give us.
Sure.
Mr. Mamin will also be here for this presentation. It will be good that in one go, all of us, if we get to understand.
Sure. So we'll give the background and then also we'll talk about how we can build the bureau.
Yeah. We cannot call it bureau.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Then we have to get it through that SICRA route.
Yeah.
The registry is what we use. Registry, bro.
Yeah, registry or repository we can use.
Great repository will be better. अच्छा वो Equifax के साथ हो गया? Have you got it done?
Not yet, sir. I talked to them in the morning.
Hmm.
We are expected to close it by evening today.
Okay. Because people are really looking forward for this alternative mechanism. We can get. I mean, if we get this one through, maybe I will call you during our not-for-profit aggregation. Hello. Now we got Mr. Momin.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Hi.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good, good, good to connect with you.
So let us start without.
We can
So
start.
this,
Yeah, please.
so this will be a present. This is the second in this recorded. They came to our office last time and they gave us a presentation. One of their suggestions were that if we can develop a alternative credit registry for the not-for-profit agencies. It was good, but we wanted to understand in a detailed way what exactly is over there. Uh, uh, Physically, technically, financially, everything. So if you can let us give some understanding on that one, then it would be helpful to deliberate on it internally and take it forward. And Mr. Momin is already here, so he will also get to understand what
Let's hear from them.
yeah. So if you can.
Sure, sir. Thank you. I have requested for presentation sharing.
Sangeeta.
Yeah. Sir, I think, Maman sir, I think just to give you a background, as Saibal sir has mentioned.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you know the background. So one of the challenges that we will face with this problem is that over time, within a few months from now itself, the data of Section 8 and MFIs won't be available anywhere.
Right.
So, which was until recently available with the bureaus. With this disconnection, obviously, it is not going to be available. Now, with that, what will happen? The assessment that NFP MFIs are doing is not going to be constructive, right? Because the part of the data of NFP MFIs itself is missing, right? Now, we are not trying to reinvent any idea here, but follow the same route as how a repository of NFP MFIs can be made available, a data repository, right? Now, this data repository can be completely managed by a nodal agency, which is here an SRO, Sadan. So what will happen with that, this way forward, if you look at it, what will happen with that is that the challenge, as I mentioned, the data not availability and obviously that getting them into a risk will be completely mitigated. Now, because the NFP MFIs can submit the data to this repository, and in turn, the same MFIs can use that data for while providing loans, along with, of course, the credit bureau report, which can be provided through us through Equifax, because we are a third-party fintech. So there will be a
Something
combination.
outside the credit bureau you are suggesting?
No, we work with Equifax, sir. We are a third party to Equifax.
No, I'm asking you this data repository which you're talking about. Is it something outside the credit bureau or is it
It is
part of
outside the credit bureau.
Outside.
Completely outside the credit bureau.
So
it is not a bureau. It is just a repository of a data managed by Sadan. Then where the Sadan
so what way that is going to help them in understanding the credit liability of a person?
because they've already NFP MFIs have been already providing loans, and that data is now stopped submitting to the bureaus. They will start submitting to the Sadan credit repository.
No. My point is that if someone is having a credit liability with some regulated entities, that information is not available from them.
That we will provide from our portal.
So
So
what is this
they will get both.
repositories for? What is this repositories for?
Repository is for loans that are taken only from Section 8 MFIs.
Not only Section 8, other society trust, everyone they can put it.
Okay. So this will be a exclusively separate data where So only the current status of that particular loan will be available from there. Is it that?
Exactly. Because that data is not available with the credit bureaus anymore.
And is it is it can be whether it can be accessed by anybody, any NFB MFI?
Yeah, any NFP with a proper consent framework they can access.
So you are saying that it is something parallel, some parallel mechanism you are creating in place of the existing credit bureau. Is it that?
It is a parallel. Sorry, sir, can you repeat it? I couldn't follow.
I'm saying that so you are creating a parallel mechanism in place of the current credit bureaus.
Exactly.
It's too much. See, let's understand whether the existing system itself can be made use of. See, you are saying that you have a third party, you do the third party checks, isn't it? Only the data updation is not possible through you. But we can always access the data and provide them the data what is already there in the credit bureau. You can't go for fresh updation of the data based on their lending. Is it correct?
Exactly. You're right.
So how that issue is getting solved by this particular repository?
Exactly. So therefore, because they stopped submitting the data to the bureaus, now they will start submitting to the data to this repository. Right? Now, once they start submitting to the repository, from this repository, they will be able to access this data for making the decisions. They will be able to access the decisions. For example, I'll show you the point that I mentioned here.
So you need to have a strong technology platform to provide this. It's not a small thing here. You have
Yeah,
to
so
create
it
a
has been 5 years we have
parallel
built the
credit bureau.
technology. It has been 5 years we have built the technology. We run credit registries for B2B transactions. We are, as per the Government of India, we are Intermediary Act, and AES 256 gold standards credit registry is what we have today, which is what we presented last week. Again, I will present to you. If you're okay, I can show you the slides of our experience and how we build the registries as well. Okay, can I take you to the slides?
Yeah.
Yeah, so today we have, we are a 5-year-old company, sir. We are awarded by Government of India also as a best fintech solution for SMEs. So our core was actually building a credit registry for B2B transactions, because the B2B transactions are not captured by any bureau. And this alternate data, even if you observe recently of the last budget session of Nirmala Sitharamanji, she clearly said, based on the credit bureau scores, you cannot give loans alone. Instead, you should also look at alternative data, especially in the B2B segment. So and this is also a part of our data stack that is being built by Government of India, where we were part of the committee along with the Reserve Bank of India, World Bank, and Ministry of MSME, and of course DNP and Record and Bureau part of it. How building that stack part of it. The stack basically captures the GST data, Reserve Bank of India data, and the transactions data all put together. Understand how the B2B transactions are taking place, especially in the trade credit sector, where credit given by a manufacturer or a trader is always at a risk, and the businesses are not able to go forward and they have a challenge of growth. So government has been quite well focused on solving this problem through data, like how Ministry of Finance had been able to solve it through credit bureaus for the lending organizations in the early 2000s to late 2010. Similarly, this is now happening in the B2B segment. So we were the pioneers. We were the first company to build the registry, supported by IIM Calcutta Innovation Park and also Microsoft. And we partnered with Equifax, because the idea is you enrich the data of the credit bureau along with a data of B2B transaction. That's how we built. And we are a AES 256 encryption as per the DPDP policy, which is the data protection data privacy policy, which primarily talks about who is the owner of the data. How do we create a framework to access and encrypt and decrypt the data for usage of assessment. So we were a team of 7 people in the leadership, where we come from an experienced banking and also with the government background. So I was a bureaucrat recruited. I'm an NISG recruit from Government of India, and worked with the Government of AP and in the leadership roles or creating innovation policies for small businesses and startups, and also bridge the collaboration between industry and the institutions to increase the employment of the state. And we have that's myself, and Harish is a banker in the US who and he came to India and started businesses. And being with his banking background, again, working in Bank of America and Merrill Lynch and some of those, it sort of helped us put together this one. And then we have Kotesh, who's our CTO, who had built complete digital applications for banking and financial sector domains. He's from Abits Pilani, and he has not only built the banking and financial solutions for India, but also for abroad companies. So then we have other team members, Manish, Bhaskar. Bhaskar again worked in the BFSI sector, and Manish again worked in the government sector, especially in the policy making. Then we have Anne. She comes from Dwara Money, which was again financial background, and Ernst & Young (EY). She was in the audit and compliance for majority of the businesses in EY. And we have Enosh Nickel, who comes from a completely B2B sales with the Tata Steels, working especially in the trade sector as well. So we are 7 people who have in the leadership team who are running this company, where we are helping especially in the risk assessment part of businesses. Just to give you a numbers, every month we sell about 25,000 reports for assessment for various businesses in India. So this is the registry we have built. This is a credit registry for businesses, primarily non-banking payment reporting platform for traders, manufacturers, and service providers. It's like CIBIL and any other credit bureau. A record and credit registry creates a compulsion to buyers also for timely payments. So obviously we all know for the fact that we all want to pay our credit card bills and loans on time, because we know for the fact it's going to be tracked. And therefore we want to make sure our credit profiles are better. And hence the payments are happening on time, and then we don't want to default it. And today we have about 1,000 plus businesses have submitted more than 1 million invoices almost into credit registry till now. So our proposal, and when we've come across this challenge with the disconnection of NFP MFIs from the bureau, and immediately thought, I'm sure, just to give you a background, all the credit bureaus and the data risk assessment goes in a 3 framework, which is recency, frequency, and monetary. Now, when you talk about this RFM framework, in the RFM framework, your recency will be lost, because the data once stops submitting to the credit bureau, MFIs accessing the credit bureau. I can start selling credit bureau data through a third party, through all the MFIs. We are talking to more than 10 MFIs, I think, as we speak. But at the same time, we know for the fact after 3 months, these reports will not carry a recency element, might not carry frequency element. Even the monetary element that they see might not be relevant. So the RFM, which is the benchmark, at the same time, which is the core of any repository, which is the core of risk assessment for lending, is completely going to be lost for MFIs to lend. And that is where we thought, we immediately reached out to Sadhan and said, look, if this is great, we can obviously offer credit bureau reports through Equifax, which is what we are doing to so many businesses in India today. At a turnaround time of even 3 seconds, we offer the reports. But then we told that's not ideally going to solve the MFI's problem in the immediate term. We will provide the registry that we have, and we will give it to you as a license. You run it as your own registry. We don't have any interest of keeping it with us. We're okay to give the entire license and technology and how to run it and make sure everything taken care of it. We'll be able to do it for you. But please understand, unless your MFI's data, this not-for-profit MFI's data, is not being put at some place, MFIs are not going to grow in a secured manner. So that is the context, sir. So we had this credit registry We have helped some associations also to build the registry. We've been talking to governments about this credit registry. In fact, I'm sure if you heard about MSME Samadhan as central government, we've spoken and they wanted us to create a framework how the registry works with the central government as well. So our experience of building the credit registry has been quite
So this
worthwhile
credit
because
registry
yeah,
which you are having for the MSME,
yeah,
is it hosted by you?
it is. Sorry,
Is it hosted by you?
completely, sir, completely.
And how many entries are there? How many?
So number of
Yes.
businesses on the platform are more than 1 lakh, sir. I think, sorry, not more than 1 lakh, 91,000 businesses on the platform.
91,000 transactions.
91,000 businesses. The transactions are more than 1 million. 11, huh? Previous slide, yeah, sorry. You can see number of invoices left, you see for 11 lakhs 27,000, sir. Businesses on the platform is 91,600.
Business on the platform means what? Number of entities.
Number of SMEs, entities, correct.
Okay.
And this is completely scalable. As we mentioned, scalable in terms of the number of businesses, scalable in terms of the time it takes also. As I pointed out today, our turnaround time for one of the companies.
Who refers to this data?
Sorry?
Who refers to this data? Who accesses this data from you?
Businesses, sir.
I mean, what type of businesses?
Trade
Here you're
credit.
talking
If a
about
manufacturer wants to give products to their distributor on credit, he's taking the
you
risk
just
on
want to know how he is behaving with the earlier.
how he's paying his bills earlier. Yes, payment history.
Okay.
His payment history.
See, in this credit bureau thing, the only point which I am not able to understand is that how do you integrate with the existing credit bureau? Because see, a non-profit making entity, when
I
they
will
are
come to that also, sir.
when they are financing a person,
Yeah.
he would have already taken some loan from some of the institutions.
I'm coming there,
They
sir.
get the data.
That is also there.
Where?
That is also there. In the
Yeah.
next slides, it is there, sir. In the next slides, it is there. I will explain, sir. You can see here one of the things, for example, we are partners of Equifax.
Partners means what? You are a member.
Exactly. I'm a member of Equifax. We resell. So Equifax, we get a Equifax report. If you request, we get a Equifax data and we visualize the data in such a manner how a small business or how a small MFI wants to look at it. And we provide same Equifax information in a more meaningful understanding manner. That's what we do through technology. We are semi-regulated by RBI because we access the regulated information of the bureau.
No, but what is your status? Are you an NBFC?
No, we are not an NBFC. We are called a non-specified user, third-party, soft pull, semi-regulated intermediary act organization, where organizations who cannot directly purchase from credit bureau come to us and buy reports from us.
So there are similar other institutions also?
There are few more in other institutions, but there are very few.
They are been authorized by RBI and the credit bureau under the SICRA Act. They are authorized by RBI that they can act as a third party vendor and provide. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. So in the how you are planning to integrate this with the existing one? You didn't tell me that. You are saying something is available. Just show me.
I'll show you. Can I explain this first, or maybe let me explain this particular part. Okay, so this is how it is, sir. For example, your MFI NPO as a step 1, they formal customer credit evaluation, what they will do as number 1, step 1. So NFP provides customer information for evaluation. This customer information can be phone number or PAN number or together. Now, once these two are provided by MFI, now it will come to recordant interface. Now, in the recordant interface, we inquire the customer information with the Equifax Bureau. It will come to interface, recordant interface, because right now, the moment they put in the number, we immediately go to Equifax Bureau and we fetch the information. Number 4, we push the inquiry to MFI Credit Registry. Number 4 means MFI Credit Registry is a registry that we are going to give you where SRO is going to maintain that registry. Why we are pushing that inquiry to you? Because we want to tell you, okay, one particular MFI is now giving a lending to somebody, and that inquiry, so that particular person who is asking for money is inquired. So that inquiry is also pushed into MFI credit registry. Right, sir? Now, number 5, inquires MFI credit registry against the customer. Please understand, sir. Number 3, I already fetched the data from Equifax. Number 4, I posted, okay, there is an inquiry is taken place in MFI credit registry. Number 5 is that in the MFI credit registry, which is going to be managed by SRO, we will fetch the data from there also. Okay. Now 3, 4, 5. Number 3, bureau data. Number 5, MFI data. Number 6, process the request and returns the credit information. Number 7, updates the customer inquiry again into your repository. Your last piece is that you see is, it is the repository. This request returns the credit information in your repository. And number 7, it also inquires into repository. Now, number 8 is the most important question. I mean, what you asked is, in number 8, in our interface, we consolidate both data, Equifax bureau data, how we had taken loan from any NBFC and so on and so forth, and what is the data in MFI, he has taken any loans from the other NFPs, and both together in number 8, we consolidated in the interface. We will provide that data directly to the requested party, which is the one of the MFIs.
Okay.
And this particular point number 8, we already do for SMEs, because we pull from one registry and we also do it from, I will send you sample reports also. We will do it from the bureau and we do it from the registry, and we combine we call it a comprehensive report, and we share it. We already do it. So this is something that we are trying to build from scratch, which is what we also explained, Saibalji. Look, we have built this and it is ready to use, and we have to make customizations based on the language, and certain customization needs to be made. So therefore, this combination of both, creating a comprehensive from 2 registries, not only 2 registries, our technology that we use has the ability to even combine 3-4 sources of data from 3-4 registries and put into one single report also, sir. And in the same report, make it more meaningful so that a common man can understand, or a common businessman can understand. So that's the beauty of how the processing works here.
What would be the cost involved?
Sir, costing we are still working out. Probably we'll send it out today. To see, we are not looking at making a setup cost and all of that. I've told Saibal sir also, sir, whatever the cost that we incur for customization, that only we will look at. So, but our team is working how much customization may be required. Maybe in few more hours by evening, we will have a clarity to send you the costing, sir. And we are looking at phase-wise manner, because the reason why phase-wise manner is at least if the repository starts getting used, so at least there is no gap of data being lost of the NPO MFIs.
And for the MFI, for each query, how much cost it can normally come?
Each query, sir? Sir, each query of the Equifax, it depends upon how Equifax is charging us. What is it? Did we we got the price. Because see, right now we have a pricing that we provided to some MFIs already for 12 rupees and 14 rupees per query. But that particular report that we are providing is not getting MFI data. So we are getting MFI data also embedded into it, which is the MFI data from the credit bureau, what I'm talking about. After that, the pricing, there will be changes. In fact, we are in touch with the Equifax leadership team. They've shared the cost of pricing.
Sir, we have not got the pricing for MFI data integration into our regular retail report. Saibali has also been following up with Equifax. We are expecting to close that today as well. Saibali is also is in part of the discussion there. So MFI integrated data, we are supposed to get a new price for it, and we are waiting.
So this
to close
12
those
rupees, 13
conversations.
rupees which you have talked about is not without MFI data.
Correct, sir. It is without MFI data. which we were using for our regular purpose, non-MFI or regular business, which we were getting on daily basis.
Basically,
And
retail loans.
retail, yes, retail reports.
Anyway, let's know more about it. What would be the cost involved, and who will see? This can't be just taken a decision like that. It needs approvals. It needs approval from different. So you're basically dealing with that data and customer data basically. So you can't just do it in the what do you call it? Can't do it in a just like that. It has to be presented properly and approvals have to be taken. Then only things can do. But in the meanwhile, let us see how the NFP can be brought into the credit bureau system. If the existing system itself is going to help them, that would be a better option.
Sir, but the existing system clearly RBI is saying the
I know.
not for profit is exempted. So the moment they say exempted, it is very difficult to, I mean, there's no way for us to put the data. In fact, RBI has given a guidelines to all bureaus, purge the data, purging the data. So I'm assuming if their data is purging, what we are trying to get from Equifax today, the data will not be available within few weeks from now.
See, the point is that the share, what is the share of NFPs in the total portfolio? Hardly 1%.
Correct.
So this 99% is already in the credit bureau.
Exactly.
So this 1%, I don't know how much it can become viable and through this kind of a process. Anyway, let us see. I'm not very
Sir,
convinced about it. But
the few MFIs we have interacted over the last 2-3 weeks, when we showed them the retail report,
yeah,
most of them have given the remark that the retail report is not very relevant to us. We only want to look at
it is
MFI.
also relevant. They normally go for a combo report.
Combo report, exactly. So it seemed to be that even though an individual or a prospect may have very clean retail report data, there is a very good chance always that in the MFI record they will have issues. So that is a trend that most of them have observed. They said very categorically that retail report may be incomplete in many cases, like without the MFI data. So that was the source of our initiation of our discussion with Equifax as well. That's why we are getting MFI data integrated into it, specifically for Southern members. That is where it started for us as well.
And other observations, sir, though while it is 1%, you are very right, but most of the not-for-profit MFIs operate at a cluster level. Now, the cluster level, most of the lending happens within the boundaries of familiarity. Now, when the lending happens within the boundaries of familiarity, the chances of that data usage for risk assessment is quite higher, because I, as a small business guy in a particular small village called, let's say, Tenkasi, and then where I'm getting it from a not-for-profit organization, and then I'm going to, use that primarily that particular data risk assessment. So while it is small percentage as a overall, but the impact for that particular sector is actually having some role to play, which
I don't
might be
deny that.
significant.
I don't deny that. I'm only saying that, see, this can't be scaled down. It can only come down. The number only will come down only. Okay. So how viable this kind of a proposition is, that's what I'm trying to ask. You have
Got it. Yeah, if the number of if the Section 8 companies are coming down, then it might not become such a viable thing. But if they're going to stay and increase, then this is going to play a very, very important.
Chances are less because RBI also wants to discourage that. And already the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has given a letter to the Section 8 companies that they can't see. Section 8 companies are basically not-for-profit institutions,
Correct.
So lending is not considered as a not-for-profit activity.
Yeah.
So they have given a letter against that. Of course, there are ways of slowly, what do you call the ways of trying to bypass that. So some of them have done that, because what corporate ministry has said is that your MOA should clearly mention that you are doing this. and that should be shown in a way that is not making profits for them.
Got it.
Some of them are trying to do that, but I'm sure, and even RBI, my discussion with RBI is that they are trying to bring down that 100 crore limit of Section 8 companies to down, so that more Section 8 companies can get into that regulated framework.
Yeah.
So, see, that is what. So ultimately, this becomes a infractious one. Whatever you. So
I
that's
get it.
what yeah.
If it's at a regulation level, if it is not really supporting them,
Yeah.
this bureau might not really help them. The registry, the repository that I'm talking about might not
Yes.
really help them.
Because there's an investment involved, no? See, you have to create
Exactly.
a platform. You have to create a tech platform for this purpose. Whatever it is, customization or whatever it is, there
Correct.
is expenditure. So how much it can really. Anyway, let me see. It's one.
Sure, please.
But if you have
Our only
some
objective
write-up on
is
this, we can.
not to see how make this as a more of a profit making for an opportunity for us, but largely to serve the
Okay.
MFOs.
That's
So
fine.
we will send out the further details and maybe we can reconnect.
Right. Thank you. You can
Yeah.
send us some write-up if there is something is there. We can also take it
Yeah,
for some discussion.
sir, I've shared one write-up with Saibal sir.
Okay.
Saibal sir, did you get that write-up?
I have got something from you.
Okay. Okay.
This
This
is
presentation
what
is
I've
there?
shared, a process flow and all of this, including consent framework also, data consent framework and all of that. I shared.
Oh,
Note
this
on
is
future of NFT.
there is a note.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do have.
Yeah. Is this okay, sir, for you for now?
Yeah,
take-
for the
no,
time being, it is good.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and we will share the further detail on the how it can work from a commercial standpoint also.
Right.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Great connecting with you. Thank you.